everyone, Argsy here. Welcome along to a guide to Courseplay, and in today's episode we're going to have a look at custom fields. Now we've moved on from Riverbend Springs. We're here on the fantastic map New Frontier by Ola Haldor, and we're going to take a look at how you can create your own fields. Particularly, I think this is quite a good thing. On a map like this, you've got lots of expansive pasture areas, somewhere you could create a field if you wanted to mow some grass and take the grass off. Well, you obviously don't have a predefined field like the wheat field over there behind us. It's just an area of grass and there's nothing defined, so nothing for Courseplay to follow. So I'm going to show you how to record basically a field perimeter, and then we're actually going to have a look at as well and create our own field with a plow or a cultivator, and then we're going to see if Courseplay will detect that as well. So let's jump on up into the Challenger. We'll set this running and show you how to get it all going. Right, so first things first, I'm just going to move out of the way. Now, we've got an area of grass in here on the right-hand side between the house and the farmland boundary. So if we just bring up our map, you can see we've got that grey line just off to our right, which is the boundary of the land we own, and that's kind of where we're going to want to set our field up. So for this, we don't actually need to have anything attached to the back of the tractor. What we are going to do though, we're going to drive up here. Now, bring up the Courseplay menu and you'll see something we haven't had a look at is this little round button here, which when we click it is going to go red, and it's actually going to record a track that goes the whole way around, or basically follow us around, and will define where the field is. So if we just press on that, you can see we've basically got to start here, and this is going to go through and record our course. So we're just going to head along. Now, one thing to bear in mind, in previous versions of Courseplay for Farming Simulator 22 and 19 as well, you were able to record courses on the mini-map, or on the actually main PDA map. That isn't a feature yet for Farming Simulator 25, but quite possibly will be in the future. So I'm just going along. I kind of used the guide on the little map down in the corner about where we were in the field. I probably could have gone a little bit further over to the edge, but I didn't want to go too far. But if we just come in here, now we can obviously make this field whatever shape we want and bring it around. Now we're going to head back along here. We're not actually far enough across, but you get the idea. Creating our own field. Now, important thing is we don't want to overlap those. We want to get here and leave a little bit of a gap. Now, if we press stop there, get this menu come up and says, do you want to save the recorded course as custom field CP1? Well, yes, we are going to click on that, and we should now have a custom field, which means we back up on hook up to our mower just here. This back on the back there. There we go. We're going to drive over here. We'll get that unfolding while we're doing it, and now we're just going to take a look at creating a standard course. Nothing complicated, it is just for the mower, and we'll have a look and see how this all works. Now, just before we go on, a little addendum to the video. This is recorded after the fact, but just having a look here at recording a custom field, and I'm just going to come up with another tip. Now, we've pressed start. There's actually a little pause button here. Now, if we drive forward without pressing the pause button, what will happen is we'll get a whole lot of points will get created. So 1, 2, etc, etc. We press pause. Now, there's not going to be any more points created until we press or unpause what we're doing. So if we wanted to create a really straight line like that, we could pause, unpause, and it's created that waypoint. We can go again and pause it. So if we actually wanted to create a field, let's just say that had some straight lines around the side, we might get to there. That's our next field point. Unpause, pause again, and then head around, and you kind of get my drift, don't you? That you can actually, instead of having to drive an exact line, if you just want to drive some straight lines and get it to a really good position, just use the pause and unpause. So a little hack I discovered after the fact. There we go, I forgot to pause it, but we can come back down here and finish off our field, and that will be custom field number 3. Or cut number 2 actually. There we go, custom field number 2 recorded and available to be used. So another little hack there, just trying to improve how you record your custom fields on a map like this. So if we click on our course settings here, we've got no course loaded, we'll bring that up, you can immediately see that we have field CP1. Now, in previous versions, again, of Courseplay, you were able to customize those names. Doesn't seem to be something we can do just yet. Used to be able to right click or click on there and rename it, but we're just stuck with CP1. But the white border is the boundary of the field, and we're now going to be able to create a field work settings to go around that. So if we set up maybe 3 headlands, and then we'll just do our standard up and down on the center. It's not a big field, so it'll be interesting to see how this all generates. I'm just going to hit generate field work course and pop around, and there you go. You can see we've got our 3 headlands following the border around, and then we've got a little bit of an up and down in the middle. So yeah, pretty much got everything working. Get that over the top so we can see. There's only 1, 2, 3 up and down passes in there. So if we just jump out here now, go back to make sure we're on first waypoint, we're just going to hit our start, and things are going to run along and should work pretty well. This is actually a good test here. We've got an offset tool which is going to follow just a little bit different. Turn our course up there. This is not quite set to the center, and we haven't put a tool offset, so we're not actually getting right to the edge of the field. This would have been a good example to test that out, but we're not going to worry about this. This is focusing on how to create a custom field, so we're just going to let that one run and do its thing. I'm going to go over, grab a plow. We're going to create just a little field over there just to do an example where you decide to plow the field first and see how that'll work. So we'll go and get that sorted. By the time we've done that, I'm sure this tractor will be all finished. So our mower is just about finished there behind us, and if we just spin around, you'll see that we've created a field here using the Fendt and the Lizard MT. I think it's the 9-meter version from Black Sheep modding the plow there, and we've now got this field which hasn't been scanned. I haven't recorded it or anything like that. We now want to come in here because we've plowed the ground. We've got some stones in there. We want to come through and pick some stones. So I'm just going to drive into the field. So we're inside it. We could do this from outside it as well, but just bring up our Courseplay menu once again. Have a look at our course, and you can see the white line there has automatically detected the edge of this field. And if we just reuse the same Courseplay settings we had previously, in fact it hasn't picked it up because we hadn't said anything, but if we've got some headlands on there and generate a fieldwork course, you can see we're going to get quite a good course going for this tractor, just to be able to get underway and started there. So first waypoint, we're just going to press play, and that's going to go and do its job there collecting the stones. So pretty easy to be able to either record a course like we did over on the field for the mower, or come in here and create a field first, and then it will automatically be defined and become a field you can use on Courseplay. Now, one last thing we're just going to do, I'm just going to go through and very quickly merge these 3 fields and just demonstrate that this will also work and it will pick up all 3 fields into one. So before we head off and do that, we're just going to have a look here. If I go to the course settings, we can set a target position, or sorry, field position. We could pick any one of these fields and make this our field. So they're all independent fields at the moment, but let's just go and quickly merge these along, a couple of plowed lines, and then we'll see what happens to the course after that. So there we go, field is all merged all into one now. You can see the stone picker is still running on its course that we created before because it is none the wiser. But if we go into here, click on no course and grab our field position marker, we can come and click on here. You can see that is all one big field. And when we click in there to say this is the field, Courseplay recognizes that is one big border. So nice and handy way to merge fields. Ignores what the field was when the map was started. It just looks at what it is now, which is very, very handy. Now, there is one setting. We go to the top here and under user settings, just to make sure, there's an option here for prefer custom fields being activated. So if we were to have gone around the field and let's say we recorded an edge like we did here for CP1, if we created a new field and called it CP2 and recorded over that, whenever we click on this field position, it would select CP2 rather than fields 1, 2, or the farmland 30 down there, or our custom field we'd created previously. So just to make sure that if you're having issues, just have a look there under user settings and make sure that prefer custom fields option is activated. And one final thing just to take a look at, if you don't like your custom fields and you want to go back to having separate fields, you can do that. I've just painted a grass strip down there. We just go into our build menu using the grass tool, just demonstrate what it was. So we just came down and painted this grass strip the whole way down here, got rid of this. In fact, if we go through and paint that bit out because we didn't like the corner, but if you want to get rid of it, just come through, do some painting like that. And then when you go into your course selections, you'll see because there's no soil shown there, your field will be separated as field 2 back to being a field. These 2 here are still merged because we didn't separate them with some painting. So a few different things there, just something to be aware of if you're wanting to change your fields from being large back down to small ones. Some people might, personal preference really. So there we go, there is an overview here of creating custom fields in Courseplay for Farming Simulator 25, merging existing fields into more than one, different ways to create the custom fields and record the edges, or just to go through and play our field and create a field that way will work as well. Fingers crossed that we might see the ability to draw a custom field on a map in the future, so keep an eye out. Like we've said before, we're currently on version 8.004 of Courseplay. Keep an eye out for future versions, possibly bringing that to the game. So there we go, hope you found that useful. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.